When you're strange. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of The Doors, but that song worked pretty well in this trailer. Yes, we finally have a new trailer for Morbius, and yet still we have no poster. That's weird. And this is the next movie in Sony's Spider-Man universe, which, oh my god, the lines are now more blurred than ever. I'll get to that later. I'll be honest, when I first watched this new trailer, I was like, they didn't show us much more. I don't think there's enough new stuff to talk about. But then after I watched it a couple more times, I was like, you know what? There is new stuff to talk about. I mean, it shows Dr. Michael Morbius go into those caves and a swarm of bats goes around him like we saw in the first trailer, and it totally reminds me of Batman Begins. But then this trailer shows how Morbius gets back to the mainland, and I gotta say, I like how this trailer really makes it look like it's a horror movie. There are actually a lot of good horror elements in this trailer, surprisingly so. I mean, Morbius is hiding in the shadows, he's turning into a monster, or, you know, a vampire. I really like that. It looks like it could be pretty cool. And then we see Tyrese Gibson shows up in this trailer, and I'm like, okay, what? Is he here to be the comic relief? Because that's what he is in the Fast and Furious movies? I don't know, because he doesn't crack any jokes in this trailer. It looks like he plays the police officer who's investigating this case. Alright. You do see in one shot that he has like cybernetics on his arm. I'm curious as to what that's all about, because I'm not sure who this character is. I don't know what his name is. I haven't looked it up yet. Also, Matt Smith. I'm still not sure who he plays in this movie yet either. Or Jared Harris for that matter. Or that really hot chick who I'm pretty sure is going to be the love interest here. Man, she's gorgeous. She looks like the chick from Hellstrom. No complaints here. And in this trailer, we see more of what Morbius can actually do, and this is new to me. He's like testing his powers, and apparently he can fly? Yeah, I actually did not know that Morbius could fly. Like, could he fly in the comics? I'm not sure. I don't remember him flying in the Spider-Man 3 video game, but I do think it looks cool when he jumps off the building, that energy behind him. It almost kind of looks like he's turning into a swarm of bats like vampires are known to do. I mean, I don't know if he is, but it's like the energy is making it look that way, like it's giving off the illusion, and what can I say? I think that's cool. But yeah, there are a bunch of things in this trailer that are really blurring the lines between the Spider-Verse. Like, the thing that really made me go, what the fuck, is seeing the Oscorp building, which I actually didn't notice the first time I watched this, because it was on my phone. But then I watched it on my TV, and I was like, what? What? Sony, what? Because that is the Oscorp logo from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, as in the Andrew Garfield ones. Yeah, right there, I'm like, Sony, what are you doing to us? Because not only do we get that, and by implication that does mean that Norman Osborn exists in this world, or at least in this movie, but then also we get the Daily Bugle, like we saw in Venom Let There Be Carnage, the same Daily Bugle logo that we know from the Raimi Spider-Man movies, plus the fact that, again, we see that Spider-Man graffiti that looks like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, so you're like, okay, there are now elements from the TASM movies and the Raimi movies, but then it doesn't stop there. Yeah, we have references to Venom.
We haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
Yeah, they're in there too.
Who the hell are you, Matt?
I am Venom.
And then, of course, to top it all off, Michael Keaton again.
Hey, Dr. Mike, you and I should stay in touch.
So you're like, okay, that's 4 different Spider-Verses represented in this one trailer alone. The Raimi movies, the TASM movies, the Venomverse, and the MCU with Michael Keaton. I swear, universes are colliding in this trailer. This is nuts. And of course, it all goes back to Spider-Man No Way Home. Because again, the events of that movie, I'm pretty sure are gonna have a lot to do with the fuckery we see in this trailer. So yeah, in a way, this trailer is hyping up that movie even more. I mean, we were already pretty hyped up from the mid-credit scene in Venom Let There Be Carnage. We all remember how we felt when we saw that for the first time. So now it's official. It's out there. Cinematic Spider-Verses are colliding, and it's blowing everyone's minds, including mine for sure. But honestly speaking, that does kind of feel ass backwards when it comes to the hype for this movie in particular, because as cool as all the Spider-Verse stuff is, I do still want this movie to be about Dr. Michael Morbius and the character arc that he goes through. Because I mean, look at his monstrous form. I actually think it looks pretty cool. He looks scary. And this is interesting because he is a doctor, kind of like Doctor Strange, in that, yeah, his goal in life is to heal lives, but now Dr. Morbius has this urge to consume blood, which does turn him into an anti-hero, if not a complete villain, which I'll be honest, I've never heard of Morbius as an anti-hero. I've always known him as a villain, a Spider-Man villain, but this being Morbius's movie, I'm curious to see which route they choose to take, because Venom is an anti-hero, but I've known Venom as an anti-hero in the comics and other lore before. With Morbius, I've only ever known him as a villain, so if he's an anti-hero in this movie, that'll be a first time seeing it for me. I don't know. But But in the end, Morbius does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest though, there is a possibility that this movie could suck. No pun intended. I mean, sure, it looks like a pretty cool, scary Marvel movie, but I've looked at the filmography of the director and the writers, and their movies have not gotten the best reviews. Plus the fact that this is a horror movie that's coming out in January, and if you didn't know, January horror movies have a reputation for not being that good. Granted, this movie was not originally supposed to come out in January. It was supposed to come out last July, but the pandemic delayed it to now it's coming out in late January. So we'll see what happens in that aspect. But I like the casting of Jared Leto as Dr. Michael Morbius, and I mean, in general, this movie has a pretty good cast. Jared Harris, Tyrese Gibson, Matt Smith, they're all pretty good actors. And the premise seems really interesting. A dying doctor who becomes a vampire, and now he's torn between his vampire half and his human half. He has to consume blood, but he wants to save lives. What to do? That plus the horror vibe this trailer gives off, this could be really cool. I got my fingers crossed for this one. I want it to be good. And of course, all the Spider-Verse stuff looks awesome also. Can't wait for this movie. Now, where's our new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home? So, the official trailer for Morbius. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? And what are your thoughts on the whole Sony Spider-Verse clusterfuckery that we see in this trailer? How did you react to seeing that? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go blast the Hadestown soundtrack, cause it's been my obsession for the past 2 months. On the road to hell, there was a railroad line. Peace!